All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. It's always cool when you can talk about real music and it's new music, and it might actually appeal to some of the folks that are watching this channel. By the way, thanks for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Bill Champlin, who has won Grammy Awards, who is just a wonderful songwriter. A guy, by the way, who probably should have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the band Chicago. I think he left the band in like 2008. I don't know how many years that calculates to. I know he joined in the early 1980s. So you got to think, 27 years or something like that in the band Chicago. Great songwriter, and helped revitalize the band. Some of those live concerts Chicago did in the late 80s and early 90s are really some of their best live outings ever. I mean, if you go back and watch the band, I think they're playing a gig in Budokan, which is kind of Cheap Trick territory, but they went over there, and I've watched a lot of that live footage, and the chemistry that at least Champlin had leading this band and being kind of a default or de facto leader at the time really was remarkable, especially when some of the old-timers weren't writing the songs that they used to write. They weren't coming up with ideas. They seemed to be more very much wallflowers who enjoyed playing the live gigs but weren't being all that creative. Bill Champlin should be in the Hall of Fame, either with Chicago or as, a solo artist, because he is a fairly amazing and unique musician. Also was in a band called Sons of Champlin during the 1970s, and if you go back and listen to that, that competes with things like the Average White Band and a number of other groups that had a real backbeat, a funky groove, but were also very organic sounding. So Champlin released this album back on January 22nd. It's called Livin' for Love. It is courtesy of Imagine Records. You can actually buy a CD of this, which I think is cool for old folks like us who still... I'm sorry. There are days where I go, yeah, I'm old, but I don't feel old, but then again, a lot of people say that. In case you didn't know some of the accomplishments of Bill Champlin, 28 years, I was correct, with Chicago. And of course, writing and producing for Earth, Wind & Fire, After the Love Is Gone, George Benson, Turn Your Love Around. Both of those singles garnered a Grammy Award win, not just a nomination. He did apparently write the theme song to the television show In the Heat of the Night, which I forgot about. Started playing piano at age 5 and joined his first group at age 14. This is a guy that Steve Lukather just loves to talk about. If you get him on Bill Champlin, he's going to say, yeah, man, brilliant. So what's cool about this? Well, obviously the reunion with Jason Scheff. The tune is called Show Me. It's on this new album. It has a West Coast groove. I think you're really going to dig it. Both of these gentlemen sound fantastic. It's, 30 years since Jason Scheff was in Chicago? Actually, longer than that. It's 2021 now, so Jason joined in 1986. So 35 years ago. And those two guys were singing Will You Still Love Me? And they still sound amazing together. It's too bad they didn't do more stuff together, but it's awesome that they have a reunion here on Bill's new album. Again, check the song out. I think you're going to really dig the track. It's called Show Me, and it's Bill Champlin. Great songwriter, great musician, and certainly, worthy of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Jason Scheff, technically, being with Chicago for 30 years, you think they would have just inducted him into the Hall of Fame due to longevity, due to service, due to the fact that he helped keep that band going during the 1980s and, beyond, because they were a touring machine with both Jason and Bill for a number of years. And people love those songs. People never get tired of hearing 80s Chicago music, whether it's Chicago 16, 17 with Cetera, and Champlin at the time, both in the band, or later on Chicago 18 and 19 with Jason Scheff, who really found his groove with the band and kept the legacy alive. So in any event, I'm here to tell you to check out the tune Show Me, and I think you're going to love it. This is classic Bill Champlin and classic Jason Scheff back together again.